UNLV absolutely must become a great university. The question is, what can we do as a board and individually to make UNLV that great university? Today we are going to hear from the Dean of the Engineering School at UNLV, Dr. Rama Venkat. Dr. Venkat is going to present the case why UNLV is in desperate need of a new engineering building. For the city of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada, for that matter, to truly diversify our economy, and that's something we all say we desperately need, UNLV must be able to educate a workforce which will attract additional industries to our valley. The engineering building is on the Board of Trustees' top 3 projects for the upcoming legislative year. Unfortunately, the Board of Regents ranked engineering 3rd out of those top 3. Hopefully, Rama will be able to show you, the governor, and members of the legislature why this building should be number 1 on their priority list. Dr. Rama Venkat first came to UNLV in 1989, becoming a full professor in 1998. He serves as chair of the Department of Electrical Computer Engineering from 2000 to 2006. He became the dean of the Howard R. Hughes College of Engineering in 2010. He has authored or co-authored 43 publications, and he has brought in more than $2 million in research funds. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rama Venkat.
Good morning. First of all, I welcome you to this meeting, and I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk to you about an exciting project, yet very challenging project. The one problem is I don't have my script. Where is my script? Jack? Cheryl, where is my script? Thank you very much. I thought it's a script, but it's saying something else. Robot needs engineers. My God, I didn't expect that from him. Everybody has told me that. The governor is telling me, all the industry partners are telling me that, and now Robot is telling me that we need more engineers. My God, I'm in trouble now. So let's see what we can do in College of Engineering. Actually, last May, we had an event. College has a competition called Senior Design Competition. They made me Dart Venkat Dean, anyway, because somebody liked Star Wars theme. So let me say a few things about myself, because some of you may not know me. I came to UNLV in 1989. I'm a first-generation student. My parents were both college, high school diploma holders. My father was a government servant, a very strict disciplinarian. Mom was a homemaker, very entrepreneurial. They placed a lot of importance on education, even though they didn't go to college. And my mom, I remember, even though she was a homemaker, very entrepreneurial. Learned a lot of stuff from her. Actually, she taught me algebra and geometry when I was in 9th grade. She was a smart cookie. Interestingly, she made more money than my dad. She stayed at home, very entrepreneurial. Anything that's in vogue, anything that's in fashion, she would sell it at that time. Of course, she's using her 5 kids to sell the stuff, right? And I remember milking cows and wild buffaloes and selling milk, growing vegetables in the backyard and selling it. And she was a franchisee for cement and charcoal and kerosene, I remember, pouring liters of kerosene for clients. And if it's a Hindu celebration season, she used to sell fireworks. School season, she used to sell school uniforms, notebooks, pencils, and pens. Of course, we get them free for us. So it was painful as a chores, but now I'm thinking back at it, she made us entrepreneurial. And they placed a lot of value on education. I learned from her how to deal with people, how to be entrepreneurial, how to never take no for an answer. Always get things done. Persist, persevere, and get things done. That's what I learned from her. So I did my BS in India till 78 to 83 in Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Came to United States, and I remember August 6, 1983, Purdue University. Got my PhD in electrical engineering, 1989. Landed in Las Vegas. From a humid, hot Indiana to a very hot, dry Las Vegas. Now, July 9, 1989. UNLV is my first employer. I've been here for ever since. Maybe it's just nobody else wants to give me a job, but I love this place. I love Las Vegas. My kids were born here, bred here. We love Las Vegas, and I love what UNLV has done to me, professionally and personally. So that's a little bit about me. So let me talk a little bit about the College of Engineering. College of Engineering is a traditional college, four departments, headcount of 2,700 undergraduates, 150 master's students, 120 PhD students. Believe it or not, we do have a PhD student. It's gone pretty strong, and 76 faculty members. And we do a lot of good research, wonderful research. Actually, we do very well in water resources and water reclamation. We have a very strong program in that, renewable energy, robotics, materials, and we do UAVs, for example, and lots of opportunities for us. We work with the National Science Foundation, National Institute of Health, any federal agency that gives money, our faculty members are there. Department of Homeland Security. Not only that, we work a lot with a lot of industry partners. 15% of our research expenditure comes from industry partners. Tesla, even though they are in northern Nevada, I don't know how much UNR gets from them. We do get about $1 million from them to do research. We are working with reclaiming lithium from batteries to clean up the water, the toxic water they generate. We work with NASA's the company which worked with them on the Man on Mars project, that's called Lockheed Martin. That module that you see there is what's called the Orion module. That's the module that's going to take 5 astronauts from Earth to Mars in 6 months. That module is made of composite material. Do you know where that's getting tested? The mechanical testing of that material happens in our export control lab in our building, which is 35 years old. And we work with the International Space Station. And that's Teledyne Brown Engineering. That's another contractor for NASA. And we've been working with them for 3 years. Actually, Buck Wong used to be a trustee. His company, Arcata Associates, connected us with NASA. We've been working with them for 3 years. Several of our students are employed by NASA and its contractors. Our students don't just work for Tesla or Lockheed Martin. They work for lots of companies. NV Energy, I saw Tony this morning. Southwest Gas. We work with IGT, Konami Gaming. I saw Tom Gingoli a few minutes ago. So we work with all kinds of companies, not just here. This year our students were placed in Apple, Google, Honeywell, Intel. So I wouldn't have believed that 25 years ago, but now our students are finding jobs all over the place. Interestingly, 63% of our alumni still stay back in Las Vegas and contribute to our economy. So let's come to the crux of the problem, right? What is the pain that I feel? The headcount in the last 9 years has grown 55%. And the number of students we graduate, that is degrees that we give out, BS, MS, PhD, grown by 55, 60%. Computer science is a mess. It used to be 400 students 9 years ago. Today they are 920 students, 215% growth. I remember giving them a lab several years ago, 12 years ago. They don't have space. They are booked from Monday, 7 o'clock, till Friday, 7 o'clock at night. So we don't have space. And I told the chair has been telling me, I can't take any more students, and I actually have to talk to the provost and president. We can't enroll any more students. If we don't have the space, we got to cap enrollment. There is no other way. I understand we are an access school. I was a first generation, so I understand all of that. But if you don't have space, how are you going to give them a good experience? That is a problem that we face. And with the economic diversification that the governor has initiated, actually I love our governor. Governor Sandoval has been a great education governor and also economic diversification governor. We are right now 3,000 students, BS, MS, PhD. For 10 years, in 10 years, we would have to grow 4,000 at least to help the economic diversification of Las Vegas. Can I do that? No, I don't have the space to do that. I just can't do that. And right now we are graduating BS, MS, PhD, 320 students. and to support the economic diversification, to help the new Nevada that our governor talks about, we need to be 500 students. Can I do that? No, I don't have the space to do that. I can't do that. Right now, we bring in $14 million annual research expenditure for a faculty of 76. If you look at that, compare it to the top 50 schools in engineering in the country, that's an amazing number. That's a lot of money that we bring in. This is almost equal to the salary that the state pays to our faculty members, pretty much that number. And we want to grow that to 20 million. Why do you want to do that? When you do research, you're going to produce patents, you're going to produce licensing, you're going to produce startups. All of that is going to ingrow companies in Las Vegas. Can I do that? No, I don't have the space to do that. I won't be able to do that. So if you really look at Governor's Office of Economic Development, it put out a report, I think, last couple of years. They talk about what areas we are looking for expertise. 7 of the 10 areas are in the College of Engineering at UNLV. Same thing is true nationally. There is a need for cyber professionals. There is a need for big data analysis, Google, Twitter, all these companies. And we don't have the space to produce these kind of students. Interestingly, as I pointed out, 63% of our graduates will stay back, will contribute to our economy. That's what we need to be focused on. So the space that we want to build will be integral to the new Nevada that our governor talks about. So let me give you a couple of comparisons, right? So these are aspirational and comparable schools. San Diego State, University of Texas Austin, you can read through them. Every one of the schools that I've listed there have at least 17.5% more than us. Our sister school up north, University of Nevada, Reno, already has 92% more space, and they just got approved another building for another 80,000 square feet. There will be 150,000 square feet, percentage more than us. So that, and Utah State University has 4 buildings. And that's amazing. So that is the situation that we are in. And if you really look at our situation, right, our college faculty and staff and students, they are in 9 different buildings. Please do not think that we own 9 different buildings. We are in 9 different buildings. Actually, I have space, 100 square feet there, 400 square feet there, 1,000 square feet there. That's the situation we are in. I want to really, this is not a good way to really run a good College of Engineering. It's not coherent at all. So we need to build a building so that I can bring a lot of these faculty members and staff into one place. So what is that I'm proposing as a solution? We need an additional space. It's not just for engineering. The whole campus is struggling from space problems. So we need a building. I'm just asking for 50,000 square feet. UNR got 80,000 square feet, even though they had 92% more than us. And they are comparable by every standard. If you really look at the enrollment, the output they're putting out, the research, they are very comparable to us, maybe 10% better than us, but they have close to 150% more space than us. It'll be a 3-floor, 50,000 square feet building adjacent to the engineering building. And the groundbreaking, if everything goes well, of course, we need to raise $66 million total, 33 from the state. That's what I'm asking the governor. And then another 17, Marta was kind enough to say she will support it from the university. We need to generate another 17 to 20 million from donors. So if we do all of that, everything comes together. Groundbreaking will happen summer of 2019. It's a 24-month project. It's going to be tough when the stadium is going up and convention center is getting renovated. Labor force in construction industry is very, very tough to get, but we will get it done in 24 months, and we'll occupy it by summer of 2021. So I'm going to leave you with 2 stories because I've taken a lot of your time. First one is something that we did wonderfully well with Metal Rebel. I remember 2014, university was, the economy is turning back. Upper administration, the president provost told us, go out and hire somebody really good, somebody, an impact professor. A full professor brings in a lot of reputation and money and everything into the university. So I was looking for somebody. I saw Paul O. from Drexel University. I'm typically very good at poaching people. I have poached a couple of people from UNR, by the way. So I'm very happy about that. So with Paul, when I saw Paul, I asked him, Paul, would you join UNLV? He said he would. He gave a visit. He joined in a year later, 2015. When he saw me in summer, he said, Rama, DARPA, the Defense Organization's research arm, is asking me to participate in Robotic Challenge. It's basically to build a robot like Metal Rebel to go into a disaster area before we sending in any human beings. So they wanted a humanoid to be built. He asked me, should I participate? Stupidly, without thinking, I said yes. Then he said, where is the space? I didn't think much about the space, that you would need a lot of space. Then I went to the upper administration. They told me, we own a 99-cent store. Some of you may know that. Flamingo and Maryland Parkway are Flamingo and Escondido, the opposite of the Clark County Library. And that building was available to us because we still own the building. Part of it is 99-cent store. The other part is open. They said we could use that. So I took Paul into the space. It was a summer day. It's a 99-cent store, so you don't expect the air conditioner to work. Yes, it didn't work. It was 105 degrees inside. And Paul was willing to take it. He said, let me take it. I need the space right now, because he had 8 months to build a robot, to train this robot and go for it. So he took the space and trained the robot. We went to the competition. President Jessup and his family was there, and I was there with my family. And Mel Rebel driving that vehicle that you see there, it had to drive through an obstacle course and do it the shortest and the fastest time. Actually, of the 24 teams that participated, we did that the fastest, because Paul told me there are 8 or 10 tasks. I'm going to make sure our robot does the best in one. We want to beat MIT, we want to beat Carnegie Mellon in one task. I said, that's fine. So he did that very well. And then the robot had to open a door to the disaster area, go inside, pick a power drill which is already charged, cut an 8-inch hole in the drywall, unplug a power cord, plug it back into another socket, turn a valve, a complete turn, 360 degrees, walk through debris, climb about 4 steps. You have to do all of this in 60 minutes. So we were going against MIT, who's been doing this 40 years. Carnegie Mellon, leaders in robotics. KAIST from South Korea, leaders in robotics. Lockheed Martin, NASA, 24 teams. I told Paul, we participated, consolation prize, happy, let's come back home. When the results came, I was floored. We were number 8 in the whole world. And interestingly, MIT was number 7. Carnegie Mellon was number 3. Just think about this. I gave him a 99-cent store where the air conditioning was not working. If I had given him a state-of-the-art building, all the facilities, what type of people he could have attracted? And if I had given him more time, not 8 months, if I had given him a couple of more years, we probably would have been number 2 or 3 in the whole world. That is the story of UNLV engineering. So that shows that we are entrepreneurial. We can get things done, even the circumstances are not in our favor. So let me leave you with one very touching story. You've probably seen this in a lot of news media. Haley is my favorite girl. Ms. Dawson is sitting right there. Thank you very much for coming today. And Haley's story was, I was telling Ms. Dawson, actually she confirmed, I looked up my email. It was April 28, 5:27 p.m. I get an email from Ms. Dawson, and I didn't think much of it at that time. The email said, my daughter, Haley, 4 years old, born with Poland syndrome. It's a congenital problem. She didn't have fully developed fingers. So since she doesn't have fully developed fingers, we don't think about it. Without the fingers, we can't do a lot of stuff. And she could not really get full use of her hand. So Ms. Dawson wanted us to build a 3D hand. So I said, okay, we'll send it to a couple of people. I sent it to Professor Newman, and he said, I'm not an expert in 3D printing. I sent it to Brendan O'Toole and Mohammed Trabia. 4 months down the road, I see Haley, 4-year-old, holding a bucket, going trick-or-treating. I'm telling you guys, when you see that, you cry. I cried that day. That made me really feel good. This is why we are here. UNLV Engineering is here not just for Tesla, not just for economic diversification. We are here to help a small girl. Since then, I think at that time, I remember Haley was a very shy girl. She won't even talk to you. She won't even look at you. Today, I remember Ms. Dawson brought her last 4 or 5 months ago to my office. I asked her, what do you want to do? Do you want to be an engineer? She said flat out, no, I'm not going to be an engineer. Looks like she wants to be in theater or she wants to be in acting, which is good. So that has been a great thing, and she's been an ambassador for us. She's been all over the country. She's gone to, actually, last year in Phoenix, Arizona, she pitched the 4th game, the World Series 4th game. Now I think she's done Journey to 30. She's gone to every MLB park. She has done ceremonial pitches. I think just got completed 2 weeks ago. Actually, I have a couple of hands. That's a hand here. Actually, we hire artists to really put the logo of the MLB team. They want that. This is the one you guys will be very proud of, right? So that's the one. So Haley has been really good to us, and we really appreciate it. And her mom is here. If you have any questions, she will address it. So the thing that I'm talking to you about is whether winning international competition. I just mentioned DARPA Robotics, Department of Energy Solar Decathlon. This year, we were #1 in innovation in the whole world. We were going against Berkeley, Northwestern, Washington, St. Louis, some great universities, international universities. We were #2 in engineering and architecture. So we do wonderfully well in not only in competitions. We help companies like Tesla. We help companies like NV Energy. But we also help and do a lot of community work, working with people like Haley. We are very proud of what we do. So the issue for me is space, right? So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios and leave it. First, let's take the pessimistic view. Even though I'm not a pessimistic person, I'm the person who wants to get things done, will get it done. If we don't have the building, I'm telling you, I will have to cap the numbers. I can't take any more students. There are no more students to take. We'll have to say this is it, especially in computer science. And which means that we will not have enough workforce, which means that the economic diversification will suffer. Limit research. We will not be able to grow past the $14 million. Maybe it'll dip a little bit because our physical plant is 35 years old. It's going down in quality. So if you don't do research, what happens? You won't have the patents, the licensing, and the startups, which means, again, economic diversification will suffer. So there will be increased skill gaps in local workforce, which I don't want to do. And the other thing is that top tier. We've been talking about top tier. UNLV engineering, I can tell you. Civil engineering is 87, already top tier. Mechanical engineering is 129. Electrical engineering is 142. They're very close to top tier, maybe 20-25% below. If you look at UNR, very comparable to us. So we can reach top tier, but if we don't have space, they'll always stay a dream forever. And if we have the space, I'm a very optimistic person, we don't have to cap enrollment. We can grow another 50%, which means that we'll reach 4,000 students. Economic diversification, which needs the workforce, the patents, the licensing, will be able to deliver. And we will reach top tier in the next 10 years. I can guarantee you that. The provost may not keep me in the job forever, but if I'm there, I'll make sure it happens. And then the most important thing is the need is acute. The time is now, and I need your help. Help me to meet with the governor. I talk to him. I write letters to him. Legislature, the Ways and Means Committee, the Finance Committee. I was there in Carson City last legislative session. This time I'm going to really take a hotel room and stay there in Carson City, which I hate to do, but because I'm a vegetarian, there is no place to eat there, but that's another. So I would love to do that, and please put me in front of donors. As I've been telling my staff members, if I have to go to Antarctica or even to Mars, I will go and get it done. That's my goal. So please help me with that. Thank you very much.
So Dean Venkat, I have a question. Our former trustee, Buck Wong, and his wife, Aurora, sort of started the private support.
Correct.
And, since then, have we had other private people step forward to keep this project moving?
Right. So the other donor that's recently signed up is a $500,000 contribution from JT4. JT4 is, again, connected to Arcade Associates. JT4 is a defense contractor, hires a lot of our students. They have about 40 of my engineering computer science students. They have given us $500,000. Another donor has just given $100 million. I have met with about 60 or 70 people. Every lunch, breakfast, for me, actually, yesterday I sent an email to my staff member, said, set me up with Selma because we need to meet with her. She said, your lunch hours are all busy. So that's what I'm doing. My goal right now is not internal. I'm completely outward folks. I'm really talking to a lot of people talking about this. The other day I was talking to Chris. So I even talked to Mr. Steve Wynn, for example. So I do talk to a lot of people, but things have not come in yet. But I need a lot of help.
Rama?
Yeah.
The Public Works Board recently announced their building projects, and the engineering building was not in their top priority. Is UNLV going to pursue a separate legislative bill? And if so, what can we do to help you?
Right. Actually, Joyce Woodhouse, who really started the bill for the planning of the building. It was SB 553, I remember. It was passed in the last minute. Actually, my staff member jokingly called me, I'm the father of medicine, I'll tell you why. The legislative bill was written for us by Senator Woodhouse, and it was a $1.75 million request. And the medical school, very good for them, and I really appreciate the medical school. We need a medical school in Las Vegas. They got the $25 million anonymous donor. They needed a bill to put that in. They didn't have a bill. So they stuck in our bill a clause for medical building, $25 million. So that's why people jokingly call me father of medicine. So that was Joyce Woodhouse. Joyce Woodhouse did that, and I've been in constant contact with her. Actually, I brought to her just 2 months ago. We talked to her about it. She's very supportive of it, and she is thinking of bringing the finance committee members to come to campus, because I told her, bring them here, we'll show you the physical plan. She's willing to do that. So there are people who are helping us, but any connection that you have with any other finance committee members or Ways and Means committee members, I would be more than happy to go see them. Even if it's in Elko, it's okay.
John has not been agendized, so I'm afraid we cannot accept a motion at the time, but I think that your sentiment is clear, and I believe the board agrees with that. Yeah, let's just do a show of hands on board members who feel this is important and that we should take it to the legislature. That's what I thought.
Thank you very much for indulging me with your time today. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Raj here.
There you are.
I would just like to say that the College of Engineering has already put the Haley's hand is being talked about not only all over the country, but all over the world. I mentioned to you that I was at a fundraising for my company in Boston when somebody came to me and he saw my UNLV badge on my coat, and he said, well, what do you do for UNLV? And I said, well, what do you know about UNLV? And he said, well, Haley's hand. I mean, you know, the guy was so complimentary because he had himself suffered. He needed, his child had a problem of similar, and he had looked into the research. And he went to MIT, and he went to Harvard, Mass General, and wherever, and they were all referred to, they were all talking about Haley's hand. So he talked to me about Haley's hand several years ago now. It's almost 2 years now, 1.5 or 2 years ago. So I was very impressed that I'm at a very prestigious meeting in Boston where folks from Harvard and MIT are there, and here somebody was taking me on his side and talking about Haley's hand, and then he came up to the podium and he mentioned that what a great work is being done by university in UNLV, by College of Engineering. So I want to compliment you, Dr. Rama, and also for your support, and good luck to you, girl. Thank you.